Hi everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes, and I'm sorry I'm squinting my face so much right now. I just got bit in the face by Mr. Pickles. We were walking and I was trying to get him to move out of the way of the construction workers that were on my block, and then he when I picked him up, he got a little mad and nipped me, and it really hurts right now. I started bleeding, but I should be okay, just so you guys know. So anyway, today in this video I have a coffee and double story time video for you guys, and today's coffee and double story time is going to be the story about how my friends and I accidentally broke something in two different stores. So this is a story about how I was in a store with some of my friends, and one of my friends and I accidentally broke something, or I was with a group of people and someone accidentally broke something, but it was only an accident, and luckily the stores did not go by if you break it, you buy it, because there was no point of us buying it because it was already completely shattered. So this is a story just to let you guys know, you have to be super careful in stores when you're around stuff that's made of glass, because it can and will shatter, and it sometimes can be expensive, and sometimes it can't be expensive. So just keep in mind and be super careful and be aware of your surroundings when you're in a store. So here we go. So this one started, I think, maybe about 11 years ago. So I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by a text message by my friend. But anyway, this one started about 11 years ago. My group and I went and volunteered at a local senior center. I was with a group of people because I was with the local program. And we were volunteering at a local senior center, or were we cleaning up a park? I don't remember. We were cleaning up the local park or something. I can't remember exactly what we were doing, but I know we were doing something around that area. And so once we were done with all the cleaning or serving lunch at the senior center, or whatever we were doing, we decided to take a little walk to one of the nearby local thrift stores. So we go to this thrift store. I'm gonna name it Thrift Store 1 just because it's a local thrift store. So we go into Thrift Store 1, or just call it thrift store, because the next store in the next story in this video is not a thrift store. So anyway, we're gonna call this thrift store. So we go into thrift store and we start looking around, walking around, and it's really cute. There's a ton of stuff in there despite the fact it's a very tiny thrift store. And we're looking around, and while we're in there, 5 minutes as we're in the store, we suddenly hear a shatter. So we turn around, and we saw somebody standing next to something that had fallen on the floor and shattered. And I think it was like a glass animal or something. I don't really know what it was, but I know it was something made of glass. And we're just gonna name this person Broken One, because he accidentally broke the thing. And he's like, and Broken One apologizes and goes, "I'm terribly sorry. I was not paying attention to my surroundings, and I had my backpack on, and I guess my backpack knocked it over, yada, yada, yada." And so the thrift store owner was so incredibly nice, and he's like, "That's okay. We all make mistakes." So he cleaned up the mess. I think he grabbed like a vacuum because it was carpet, and he grabbed a vacuum and vacuumed up the carpet, up the mess that was on the carpet. So Broken One takes off his backpack, and he continues to carry it around instead of having it on his back because he was worried he might break something else. And I thought that was a very smart idea. So I ended up taking my backpack off my back and started carrying it around while I was in the store because I was scared to knock something over as well. So I kind of followed what he was doing so then I could be safe as well. So thank you, Broken One. if you're watching this. So the moral of the story is it's always good to be aware of your surroundings when you're in a store that's filled with things that are made of glass, because you don't want to knock them over or break them, because they may be expensive and then you may have to pay for the broken item you broke. But you should just need to be extremely careful when you're in stores that are thrift stores that have a lot of glass or ceramic objects, because you don't want to knock them over and break them. And I know thrift stores are usually cheap, but it's still good to be mindful when you're in a store. Story number 2, moving on. So this story takes place in a local shopping center. A local Michael's. We were in Michael's one day because I was with the program. This one actually started also about 9 years ago, and it was like near Christmas time. We were doing some price comparison because we were learning how to compare prices in Michael's, and we were learning how to shop for things that were cheaper. So we were in the store and we were looking at all the Christmas stuff because we were trying to figure out what stuff to use for our Christmas projects, because we were going to make snow globes and ornaments. So we had to kind of like do all the price comparison and everything and look all the items that people wanted to use for their snow globes. So as we're in the store, one of my supervisors, he has a ornament on his finger and he's swinging it, which I think is probably not a very good idea, because he could probably like let it fly off his finger and break. But I don't say anything because I didn't want to tell him what to do, and I don't like telling people what to do when they're in charge. So he continues swinging it, and he's talking about all the price comparison. And as he's talking, we're watching him swing the ornament around his finger while we're still paying attention to him. And then all of a sudden, the ornament flies right off my supervisor's finger and falls and swings and falls straight on the floor and shatters. And my supervisor's not too happy because he accidentally broke the ornament. So a Michael's employee comes over, and this Michael's employee was maybe in his 30s or something, and he walks over after he hears a shatter noise, and he's like, "Is everybody okay? Is everything okay?" And we're like, "Yeah, everything's fine." And my supervisor said, "I accidentally broke an ornament, blah, 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 and I'm terribly sorry about it." And the Michael's employee was so nice. He was like, "That is completely okay. I will clean it up," and yada, yada, yada. Luckily, we didn't have to pay for it because it was already broken. And so the Michael's employee comes over with the dustpan and broom, and then he starts sweeping up the mess and cleaning up the broken ornament that my supervisor had broken. So pretty much, this is the funny part, pretty much the entire time we have to watch my supervisor to make sure he doesn't pick up any ornaments or swing them by mistake. So we were kind of joking around about it, saying, "We're watching you so you don't pick up any more ornaments and swing them around," and yada, yada, yada. And he actually found it kind of funny, because we definitely learned from watching what he did to be careful before you buy something. And I'm glad we learned from his mistake to be careful when you break something before you think about buying it. So the moral of those two stories are if you're in a store filled with glass, or if you're playing something made of glass, please be careful, because you can break those things and they're not usable in a store. Sometimes you don't have to pay for them if they're broken, because there's no point of you paying for them if they're completely shattered. But you just need to be careful, because it's like never okay to really break something in the store when you don't pay for it, when you can't pay for it. So just keep in mind, don't break anything, even if you're not purchasing it. Just please be careful when you're in stores filled with glass, because you don't want to knock something over and break it, because it may be expensive and you can't replace it, or you can kind of get in trouble for those things. So just always be mindful and be aware of your surroundings, and be careful when you're swinging things on your finger, in case you're swinging something made of glass on your finger, because it can and will fly off and shatter on the floor. So that was a story about how we accidentally broke something in 2 different stores. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope this video taught you how to be careful when you're in some stores that have stuff that's made of glass, because you don't want to break it, because if you do break it, you can kind of get in trouble for it, or you may not be allowed in the store anymore. So just please be careful and mind stuff that's in a store, because you don't want to break it. So thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometime, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye!